What's something you do that people would judge you for, but you're completely unbothered by?
Probably dancing at concerts while just hearing the music in public. Um, like pre-concert playlists that play at concerts or at the mall, for example. It happened at a concert I went to recently where they were just playing Zara Larsson. I was dancing around to it and people were giving me looks. So,
That's crazy.
yeah,
Oh my goodness, I never would have thought that. Plus, Zara's such a vibe. How
I
could you
know.
not want to just jump in and dance to Zara Larson?
Yeah, exactly. I was surprised too.
What's your dream concert lineup?
Ooh, my dream concert lineup probably definitely Zara Larsson. Sabrina Carpenter, Nessa Barrett. I really liked her performance recently, so she would definitely be on there as well.
Okay, those are all good choices. I love
Thank
that.
you.
What's a personality trait you used to think was a flaw, but it's actually just who you are?
I think the fact that I'm a lover girl, like in the past, especially when I was in university, hookup culture was a really big thing, and I just was never really that into it. But over time, I just learned like maybe that's just not meant for me. That's just not who I am. I'm just more of a relationship type of person, and that's okay.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
What's the most unhinged thing you've done in a relationship that you would admit here?
Honestly, it might not be like unhinged in the way that you would think, but I would say like really ignoring my own needs and trying to do everything I can just to keep the peace. It's just really something that I'll never do again because it went way too far where I was starting to lose myself.
Well, I'm happy for you that you realize that. And now you've kind of set those standards. That's so important. And I'm happy for you that you made that decision.
Thank you.
What's the last thing someone assumed about you that was completely wrong?
So this actually happened like just last night at a concert I was at. Someone assumed that I was really like serious or intimidating and didn't want to like come up to me or chat with me. Um, and it was completely wrong because whenever people talk to me or like actually try to get to know me, they see the real me as like chill, like I'll just kind of talk about anything. They realize they can actually relate to me and I'm not some like person that is doing all these like crazy things that they haven't done. Like we all can kind of relate to each other and I try to be as like good vibes as I can. And people tend to think the opposite of that. People have honestly told me that they thought they were intimidated by me ever since like the beginning of university. So it's kind of been like that for a long time.
What's a standard you have that people think is too high, but you refuse to lower?
That's definitely a lot about how I'm treated in relationships. A lot of that like I'm not willing to compromise on. So, for example, communication is a big one. Like, I feel that it's not hard to communicate. Like, send like a simple little text or a message about what you're doing or what's going on so I'm not in the dark, basically, or they're not in the dark. Same goes both ways. I feel like that should be the bare minimum, honestly. And I know people have told me like, oh, people have stuff going on in their lives, and I understand that, but I feel like something just like a simple text sometimes is all you really need, and it really only takes a couple seconds.
It's so true. It's not too
Yeah.
much to ask for at all.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to a new episode of She's Probably Talking to Other Guys. I'm really excited to chat with one of the girlies that I have met on social media. I refer to her as my concert queen, and I live vicariously through her and all of her amazing posts from our little conversation that we already started. She's so relatable. And I'm really excited to dive right into this conversation. Just a friendly reminder, I'm not a therapist, psychologist, or expert in human behavior. This is a judgment-free assumption checking zone. Take what resonates and leave the rest. So, Ashley, could you give a little introduction to everyone about who you are?
Yes, of course. So I'm Ashley, a content creator based in Toronto, Canada, and I create content around music, concerts, festivals, basically all of pop culture stuff. I also enjoy going to the gym, going to the beach, tanning, traveling, reading, choosing a good concert outfit is always something I like doing. And I'm also 3 years sober. And I'm really passionate on building a life that feels aligned with who I am at the moment, which kind of ties into things as well.
Yes. And don't worry, everyone, I will have her social handles in the description of this episode on Spotify. Also, make sure to follow the podcast on Instagram because I will be tagging her in videos and posts related to this episode. So you'll be able to find her and give her a follow. We're going to get started first. Do you remember how we even met online? I don't really remember. I know like we obviously connected and then stayed connected, but I can't really remember the moment when we actually like connected
Yeah.
with each other.
Yeah, honestly, I just have a memory of maybe you like liking or commenting on one of my posts that maybe you found and then followed me, and then I checked out your profile. I really liked the kind of content that you put out and kind of the positive vibes and everything like that. And I decided to follow you back, and I think that's kind of where things started.
It was my guess is if it was for one of your concerts, it was probably Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes, yes.
She's probably doing one of her Juno poses, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, oh yes, I love her.
Yeah, she's so good.
So we're going to start first by talking about what's your ideal concert night. So let's walk us all through from start to finish.
Okay. So I feel like this actually kind of combines like a couple concerts that I've been to recently. So I'll kind of like touch on parts of those. So the day could start with me just like waking up, like not having to rush to get to the concert. I kind of have a chill day going into it, so I'm in a good mood, not feeling rushed. And then once I get there, I get in line. Everybody is friendly. I can talk to people. We're all relating to each other, hyping each other up about the concert. And then security goes smoothly, which is very important part of the experience. And then I can get to barricade or my seat, chat with everyone around me, get my photos if I need to. And then we all just jam to the opener, basically. And something that I prefer doing at concerts when I do record my content is to hold my phone below my face so that I'm not blocking anybody else and that I can see the concert through my own eyes. It's like something that's really important to me. So that's one reason that I try to get barricade or make sure my seat's kind of like in a good spot where I'm not, ruining anybody else's experience or my own. So that would contribute to it for sure. When the main act goes on, hopefully they have an awesome set list, which they usually do. I love when they include deep cuts as well as their more popular songs. It just makes it like so well rounded and so much more fun. And the surprise songs are always awesome. And then the best is when a show ends early enough that I can go home and get a good sleep. Because last night I honestly only got an hour of sleep because I got home so late. A concert I went to a couple weeks ago for Nessa Barrett. That show ended at like 9:30 p.m. and that was great. That was a great one. It's also nice if I can meet the artist after the show. That's always fun too, to get to like chat with them, take a photo with them. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That sounds really good, and I'll be taking notes the next time I go to a concert. I
Yeah.
don't go that often. Recently, I went to see Teddy Swims. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's pretty obvious on my socials that I'm a Teddy
Oh,
Swims fan.
yes.
That one was, I feel like, very different in a way where, there was no dancing. It was
Mm-hmm.
all about the music. I happened to be at Radio City Music Hall. So for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, everyone was sitting down. Like everybody stood up at one point, but for the most part, everyone was just sitting and listening
Mm-hmm.
to the music. So it was a fun experience though.
Yeah.
And seeing all of your content really reminds me that I need to actually go out there and see
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's
other
a good
concerts
time.
too. Always inspiring.
Yes.
So, what are you sipping on before or during the concert? Let's share with everyone what your go-to orders usually are.
So honestly, I only really ever drink water or like that vitamin water, lemonade vitamin water that's sugar free or protein drinks, but it's usually just water. Before a concert, I usually try to hydrate as much as I can like the day before so that if it is a GA or standing concert, I'm not like having to go to the washroom basically.
That's like so good though, because
Hmm.
I'm so guilty of not drinking enough water.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
very proud of you that
Thank you.
you hydrate so well.
Thank you.
I say that as I have a Celsius like next to me on the table. Has anyone ever acted weird with you when they realized that you weren't drinking alcohol at concerts or just in general?
At concerts, honestly, no. I feel like people usually don't even mention it, or like some say like I should have a drink or offer to go get drinks with me, and I just tell them that I don't drink, and afterwards it's always a positive reaction, like saying, "Oh, like that's really good," and congratulating me. Like sometimes they'll ask why, but not usually if it's like an in-person thing like a concert. So honestly, it's usually not that big of a deal. In general, sometimes I will have family members or friends like realize that I'm not drinking, or realize that I haven't like asked for a drink or something like that, and they'll sometimes offer me something alcoholic, and I always just say no to it, just don't really make it a big deal. Other times they'll just ask for a water. Yeah.
Do you want to share with everyone why you stopped drinking, or was it that you just never started in the first place?
Yeah, so basically I just didn't want to continue going down the path that I was going when I was drinking. Um, I found that I was using it to cope with things sometimes, like bad test scores or something when I was in university. Afterwards, I'd be like, okay, I need to like have a drink. Um, and I wanted to really be able to handle situations better or know how to deal with them better and cope with them in a more healthy way. So I felt that it just wasn't aligned with the lifestyle that I wanted for myself anymore. Since I was shifting to something more healthy, prioritizing my fitness more, I wanted a clearer mind because I had like a lot of brain fog at the time. I wasn't feeling good waking up every day. I want to start going to therapy and working on myself without using alcohol as a coping mechanism or as a distraction to that.
How has your decision to stop drinking kind of shifted your life?
Basically, I can think a lot clearer, which is great. My workouts are better. So I've been in the gym for over 10 years now, and I noticed like a huge difference after going sober, which I love. I also have a much better quality sleep, which is very important always. I was also able to incorporate things that I learned in therapy better because I found that when I would drink, I had a lot of anxiety. It would make my mental health worse. But by not drinking anymore, I could learn the proper tools that are healthy to use in therapy and actually use them without alcohol being in the way of that. Also, just enjoying moments in life, knowing that I'll remember them the next day. And because some things honestly from back when I was in university are kind of cloudy in my mind, and that kind of upsets me a little bit, but at least now I know like in the future I will remember everything and that'll be good.
I love that for you. And it's definitely a growth journey that you're on.
Hmm.
And it sounds like it's taking you down a path that just makes you really happy.
Yeah.
If someone was thinking about making the decision to quit drinking, but they are worried about what other people will say about them, what would the advice be that you would share with them?
So basically, the core of that to me is that people are going to have opinions no matter what you do, like whether you drink or don't drink, or even on other topics. So if that's the case, it's best to just make the decision that benefits you. And for me, that was mainly about focusing on how much better I felt without alcohol, everything that I was gaining from not drinking, basically, instead of worrying about things that I might lose, like friendships. And honestly, the more you're like confident in your decision to not drink and you kind of normalize it more, other people don't really make a big deal out of it either, which makes it easier. So, even if that feels uncomfortable, because it will feel uncomfortable at the beginning, of course, you can even have like a mocktail in your hand, for example, or any other drink like juice in your hand that's not alcohol, because it can help like ease your way into it basically when you're not used to it. It's your life. You should be able to make decisions that are best for you And it doesn't matter if people are like uncomfortable by that. Like the people that really respect you and support you will respect your choice.
That's so important too. And I feel like this is in a sense a way to kind of figure out if you are around people who do
Hmm.
support your happiness and support the decisions that you made. Now, my next question is somewhat related to that, but also because I personally experienced it. So I had shared with you that I was sober for about 5 years, and very recently I just started drinking again. And back when I wasn't drinking, there were a lot of people around me who were trying to pressure me to drink and
Hmm.
trying to get me to drink again and trying to make me feel guilty for not joining in with them because I
Oh,
had my club soda and they had all their alcoholic drinks. Had anyone ever tried to make you feel guilty at any point? And if they have, or maybe if you kind of put yourself in those shoes for a minute, what would you respond to those people?
Um, so I definitely have had some instances of that. One actually involved a family member of mine who kind of saw me as their drinking buddy to drink stuff like red wine. So after a while of me constantly saying no to drinks, they acted surprised that I was still not drinking and got upset over like losing a drinking buddy or not having a drinking buddy anymore. And I just responded to that with confidence and firmly that I made the decision to go sober and it's not changing. And if I have to keep reminding them that every time we see each other, I have no problem with that. And another one was actually in dating. I've had quite a few men in my past try to tell me that, oh, like it's just one sip, it's just one drink, it won't do anything, it won't hurt you. And to that, again, I just stand my ground, um, and make it clear that I won't be compromising my boundaries for anyone. And usually they just get mad at me and block me, but that's okay. That's okay. It's not a loss to me.
I mean, I don't talk to the people who did that to me and tried to make me feel
Mhm.
guilty in the past either, so I hear you on that.
Yeah.
We're going to go through some assumptions. Now, keep in mind, these are not directed at Ashley, and these are assumptions from the internet. I'm going to read them to her, and she's just going to give her immediate thought on them. And usually these prove why assumptions are so shitty in the first place. So, number one is people think they must be in recovery.
Yeah. Definitely not true for everybody. Some people, simply make a choice that they want to have a lifestyle change or it's just not serving them anymore, kind of like me. Something big doesn't always have to happen for someone to want to stop drinking. It doesn't always mean that they have to go through some big process, basically, to stop drinking in a healthy way. It is the case for some people, but definitely not everybody.
Up next is they're boring or antisocial.
That one I've gotten. That one I've gotten. And um, definitely not true. I know everybody has different, like, definitions of what fun is, but I feel you definitely don't need alcohol to drink. You can do basically everything that someone would do that doesn't drink. Like, you can do the same things if you drink. You just don't have to have alcohol involved with them. Like going to concerts, a lot of people drink, some people don't drink. Even hanging out at a restaurant or just chatting with people, like some people could have a drink, some people won't have a drink. There are so many things that you can do in life that you don't need alcohol to have a fun time. I feel like it's more about the people you surround yourself with, and that really makes the experience. Like, I think going to the beach is fun. I know not everybody does, but like, I don't need alcohol to have fun there. I can like dance in public, like, it doesn't even matter. Don't need alcohol for it.
I hear you. There's one thing though for me though about having like alcohol at the beach, especially if
Mhm.
it's really hot. Like
Yes.
I don't want to have it. There's something
Yes.
about laying there in 90-degree weather and just wanting water or
Hmm.
wanting like some kind of like fresh flavored water or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. There's just something about alcohol when it's that hot. I just feel gross having it in the first place.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Next one is the assumption is that whoever's not drinking is judging the people around them who are drinking.
I feel like, everyone can make their own choice when it comes to alcohol. Just because someone's drinking or not drinking shouldn't affect somebody else. it's their own choice. I feel like people that don't drink should respect people, and often do respect people who do drink because that is their choice. And same the other way. People who drink should also respect the people who don't drink's decision because it's their own choice.
Totally agree with that. It goes
Yeah.
both ways. Now, I know personally I got this one a few times when I wasn't drinking. People assume you're pregnant.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I haven't gotten that one. Um, I just feel yeah, I feel like a lot of times people will make assumptions that you're not drinking due to some health related um experience like pregnancy, and that's just not the case a lot of the time. Like, there's plenty of other reasons for people not to drink, and it could be a simple choice, as we talked about before, or something more extreme, but that's definitely not the case for a lot of people.
And then the last one for the assumptions is they'll eventually cave.
Mm-hmm. I still get that from family members. And honestly, I feel like, in my opinion, it kind of just feels disrespectful at some point because it's kind of like you made your choice to not drink. People should just respect that, kind of assuming that, like, oh, maybe like they're just not drinking now. They'll just drink on vacation, or oh, maybe this is just a short thing they're trying out. Like, if that is the case, that's totally okay. But if that's not the case, like, it's their choice, and that shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I hear you on that. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, it's definitely everyone's individual decision
Hmm.
on what they choose. And it might change during life, but it also doesn't have to. And
Yeah.
I think one of my takes on it is it's really just no one's business.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're going to move into some more questions for you. What do you feel like is the biggest assumption people make about women who don't drink? And where are they getting this like so wrong?
That one, I would definitely have to go with the one that you mentioned about people who like thinking that women who don't drink judge other people for their choices, or think that they're better than everyone else for choosing not to drink, which is definitely not true at all. Like, for me, it's my choice to not drink. That doesn't mean other people have to make the same choice. They don't have the same relationship with alcohol as me. Everyone can make their own choices. That's okay. Like, for me, it doesn't matter what other people are doing. I would just like to experience my life in the way that I choose to. And if other people choose to experience it a different way, that's okay too.
I think that's beautiful though, for
Yeah.
you to want to, how you said that about wanting to experience your life in the way
Hmm.
that you want. The next one is what's an assumption that people make about you that's so off, you just find it funny at this point?
Definitely, definitely. You kind of mentioned it too, that I'm no fun if I don't drink, or there's no way that I can have fun without alcohol being involved. Because honestly, in some situations, I actually find that I have more fun now than I had when I was drinking, because I can remember everything clearly. I don't have a problem waking up the next day. I can still go to concerts, travel, hang out with friends, like go on dates without having alcohol. I can still do fun things. Like, I don't need alcohol to have fun and be myself personally. And again, like I said previously, like, everyone's definition of fun's different. What I consider fun might not be considered fun for other people. I have fun like dancing in public, like I said before, trying new things, and that's just part of who I am. And I just feel like you don't need alcohol to have fun, really. And, I've been told that a lot of times, like questioning if I could have fun with it or not by some family members. They've kind of stopped now. That was definitely a big one at a time where I'm like, that's definitely not it.
If we can go off topic for 1 second, what's your top three favorite songs to just randomly dance to in public?
Oh, Hot and Sexy by Zara Larsson.
Okay.
Um, mm, Juno by Sabrina Carpenter. Sports Carpet by Tate McRae.
All really Really solid choices. I
Hmm.
love that. You kept mentioning about dancing, and I was like, I need to know what songs make her just like
Yes.
bust a move in the middle of no.
Yes.
I must know. I love that. You already mentioned a little bit before about going on dates and a few people just kind of killing the vibe
Mhm.
about you not drinking. So maybe it doesn't have to just be dating, it could be friendships as well. Other than like those moments, has not drinking ever cost you like something socially? So friendships, dates, relationships, things like that.
Yeah, honestly, there are times where I've lost out on experiences like potential dates, potential friendships, stuff like that. At one concert I went to last year, a couple girls behind me were chatting with me. We were like getting to know each other and stuff like that, and then they asked me if I wanted to go get a beer with them, and I said no. And then basically after that, they didn't really like talk to me the rest of the night. So I guess I kind of lost out on that potential friendship. In my opinion, if not drinking makes me lose out on something, then I don't think I'm really losing out because I wouldn't want friends or a boyfriend who doesn't support my choices for me. And I wouldn't want a friendship or relationship centered around drinking anyway.
I totally agree on that. And it comes back again to having just a really good and I feel like understanding circle of people
Yeah.
around you. Definitely before I stopped drinking, I would say that I don't know that I realized that the circle I was in was not a good circle for me.
Hmm.
Then I stopped drinking. Those were the same people who started making me feel guilty for not
Oh, yeah.
drinking.
I
And I,
had a similar experience.
so I feel like that kind of also helped me to weed out the people that, okay, well, why are they peer pressuring me into doing
Hmm.
this? And then the other thing for me, like I'm a very logical person. So if I was driving anyway, on top of me just saying no to your peer pressure, I'm driving anyway.
Yep.
And I have like a 45-minute drive. I'm not gonna start, first of all, my first time back drinking right
Mhm.
now and then
Yeah.
have to be driving. So
Hmm.
yeah, I always found all of that to be pretty interesting and almost telling in a way of
Definitely.
if you should have those people around you or not.
Yeah.
So, just so listeners have an idea, because I've never really talked about this publicly. So when I stopped drinking, there was, for me, first of all, when I was drinking, I guess I would be considered like a heavyweight. Like I could drink most men under the table and I was fine. And like my friends would openly admit that. So for me, I never really felt anything. I didn't feel bad the next day, nothing like that. There were about like three instances where I knew that someone put something in my drink. So because I was like, I'm gonna say good at drinking, not that that's like a great way to phrase it. I just
Hmm.
don't know any other words right now. I knew instantly if something happened to my drink because I never got sick. And
Hmm.
then there were about like three instances where I got so sick and I couldn't remember anything from the night before. So after one of those nights, my boyfriend at the time, he had told me, he was like, you said so many mean things to me. Like, you said really mean things to me. And I said, like, I apologize. And I wanted to know, like, what I said. But he would never tell me. So then in my mind, I was like, one, why won't you tell me? Like, I genuinely want to know. And if they were like really mean, tell me so then I can really give you the apology that you deserve because that was never my intention for anything to happen. I remember getting really sick, puking my brains out, and then waking up in the morning with a terrible headache. And that's all I remember from that night. To this day, I still have no idea. He would never tell me. And then I was like, okay, well, then I'm done. And I quit cold turkey that next morning. I'm done. And then I didn't have a drink for, I think it was about like 5 years. And then very recently, I just decided, I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna start drinking casually again. Just hanging out with my friends and drinking casually. And it's been all good since I started again. It's definitely been a bit of a journey, but I think one of the reasons I'm sharing this too is everyone has a different relationship with drinking. Some people have never tried, some people have and are like, this is not for me. You know, some people have your story, some people have my story, and everyone has really their own relationship with it whatsoever. I mean, I had one of my guy friends the other day telling me that he was going to a party and he's known as like the uncle who drinks with everybody. And he was asking me for advice. He's like, "What do I do? I really don't want to drink." I was like, "Just like get a water teeny or something, you know? Like just ask the bartender to give you water and some olives on a stick." Like I don't know what to tell you.
Mhm.
But again, I think the peer pressure is real. You kind of find out more about the peer pressure when you make decisions like this, I feel like, to not drink. But at the end of the day, it truly is your decision, and filtering out friendships is something that kind of just happens along the way. So for anyone listening, if you're going through this, then you know that you're not the only one who had to kind of filter people out in their life when you made that decision. So you're not alone. One thing that I wanted to ask you is for the listeners who don't drink, what do you want them to kind of take away from your story?
So definitely that there's nothing wrong with making a different choice than others. Like, especially with the way drinking culture is being in the minority, you might feel that there is, but there's definitely nothing wrong with it. And honestly, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Um, and honestly, the more confident you are in your decision, the more you really own it and that it's your choice, it becomes more natural, and the right people will always respect your choice.
That's so important. And for the
Yeah.
people who do drink as well, is there a different message that you want them to take away from this episode?
Yeah, basically, kind of to touch on what you said as well, that not everyone has the same relationship with alcohol, and that's okay. And if someone doesn't drink, it doesn't need to be made into a big thing or be questioned. The best thing to do is to just respect their choice, like they should respect your choice. And really, we're all just doing what's right for ourselves in our own life. And it's just really important that we respect each other's choices, whether they're the same as yours or different.
That's so important, and I love how you said that.
Mm.
We are going to go into one more round of rapid fire, but these ones are not so thought-provoking.
Okay.
This is just so everyone can get to know you a little bit better. So, for this or that, are you texting or calling?
Usually texting.
Are you staying in or going out?
Going out.
Is your preference to have your nails done, your hair done, or both?
Hair done for sure.
Okay. Romantic comedies or thrillers?
Ooh, I love both.
I love that. What are
Probably.
your favorites? Can you throw out some favorites?
Mm. My favorite rom-com ever is 10 Things I Hate About You.
So
I
good.
love that one so much. My favorite thriller, I really love Nerve. I've like watched that movie so many times.
I've never seen it. Now I'm going to have to look it
Ooh,
up.
you should.
Okay. What's a girl math justification you fully stand by?
Hmm. If I paid for a concert last year, by the time I go to it, it's free.
What's the biggest green flag that you absolutely love?
Like just in general, like relationships or friendships.
You could do if you have one for each or just in general, relationships, whatever you prefer.
Um, the biggest green flag for me in relationships is when someone knows when to be serious and when you can like joke around. I think that's like definitely important. So nobody's like having some miscommunication. And a green flag in friendships is definitely, I would say, like being able to set boundaries and being okay with other people setting boundaries and not kind of getting annoyed with it.
Those are also important. Very good
Yeah,
choices. I love those.
thank
And I'm
you.
taking notes from your answer. Okay. What song would you play in your like I'm getting ready, like hot girl era. What's your song?
She Did It Again by Zara Larsson and Tyla that just recently came out.
Okay, that's such a
Hmm.
good one.
Hmm.
That's very good. I always, the song for Zara Larsson, you know how sometimes music is tied to memories that you have?
Yes.
The song Lush Life, every time
Hmm.
it plays, it reminds me I was in Vegas on a work trip, but I wanted to go to the pool before I had to go to work. So I
Hmm.
literally woke up at 6 a.m. and I went to lay out by the pool. And that was the song that was playing
Oh,
while I was down there. And that's literally every time I hear it, that's like the memory that comes into my head.
I
So,
love
so
that.
good.
It's so perfect too.
It's giving Vegas energy for sure.
Yeah.
What's your favorite self-care ritual?
My favorite self-care ritual, probably meditating. Honestly, I haven't done it as much as I should recently, but it's definitely one of my favorites.
I feel like it's very interesting to learn about too, especially when
Hmm.
you start, because when I first thought about it, and keep in mind for listeners, like I had no idea really what meditation was. I kind of had that classic like idea in my head of, oh, I have to sit there and just like have nothing in my mind. But then when I did actually start practicing it, I realized that it's actually so much more than what kind of the common thought about it is. So I'm always intrigued to learn more about something like that because I feel like there's so much more to it than people think that there is.
Definitely.
All right. And the last one is if you could go to any concert and you had to kind of rewatch the same concert, they sang the same songs, they went through the same set list the whole time, which one would you repeatedly watch over and over and over again?
I would definitely say Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet Tour because I went to it 3 times and each time got better. Like, I never got tired of that. So that would probably have to be the one.
I love that. She's moved on from short and sweet, I imagine. Next time she'll
Yeah.
be in the States, right?
Hmm.
So I missed out on the short and sweet, but it's definitely on my bucket list that I need to
Hmm.
see her in person because she's such a vibe and a girl's girl, and
Yes.
so here for that.
Yes.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today. I'm really excited that we got to talk with each other and actually, like, not officially meet in real
Yeah.
life, but meet virtually. Can
Yep.
you let everyone know where they can find you? And I will spell out all of her handles for you in the video description, but she's going to let you know where you guys can find her.
So on Instagram, my handle is ashley.msc. And on TikTok, my handle is ASHLXY Marie.
Find her and give her a follow and maybe be just as inspired as I am because I love living vicariously through her concert videos. It's such a vibe to put your videos on, turn the volume on, and just jam out.
So much fun.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to this episode. I
Thank you for having me.